All America, all the time. Sit down, buckle up, and get ready for the Dan Bongino Show.
Yes. Good morning and happy Monday. Welcome to the Dan Bongino Show. It's not Dan Bongino today. It's your boy, Shawn Farash. I'm here with you. Super excited to be joining the Silverlock lineup. It starts August 17th. That would be Shawn Farash live on August 17th, 1 p.m. Eastern time. You see that right there? Look at that beautiful. That's a beautiful graphic. It's not a beautiful person, but it's a beautiful graphic. That much I can tell you. Oh, Brendan's already
a beautiful person.
Brendan's already chiming in. It's a beautiful, but it's not a beautiful person. It's a beautiful graphic.
A handsome person.
1 p.m. Eastern time, rumble.com/Shawn. Also, anywhere you get your podcasts by searching on Apple Podcasts and Spotify for Shawn Farash Live. You got to spell my name right, everyone. Even people on X, they see my handle, which clearly spells out the name, and they start spelling my name S-E-A-N. It's right in front of you. Spell it right. Okay. Super excited to be joining the Silverlock lineup. I know I saw the chat the other day going crazy. We've gotten numerous calls and texts and all that. It's been great. So thank you all for the support. I cannot wait to start this with you. Also, you could find information on the show, bongino.com/Shawn, S-H-A-W-N. So go ahead and join up there. Hit the subscribe button. We greatly appreciate that. I'm going to be filling in all week this week till Thursday. So rumble.com/Bongino. You get to see me 10 a.m. Eastern time this week. Kind of get a feel for what's to come. And I think we're going to have a lot of fun. We're definitely going to have a lot of fun today. I've got a little, I know Dan loves to do his weekend updates. So I got a little weekend update about what Brennan and I did this weekend. It was super cool. You're going to love it. Haley Stevens is back, who's, I'm now 100% convinced that she is part chipmunk. The media refusing to call out the source of some of the violent crime that we saw in New York City and overseas over the weekend. Trump at the White House Correspondents' Dinner. We got that. All that and a whole lot more. Bernie Sanders is back. The oligarchy. We're going to have all that and more here on the Dan Bongino Show. But before we do that, I want to get to a word from our friends over at Lean from Brickhouse Nutrition. Listen, those weight loss injections are everywhere. But here's the catch. About 15% of users quit because of the costs, and another 15% stop because of the side effects. A while back, I wanted to drop some pounds too. Dan always talks about it. He said I was getting a little gooey, right? So we did research on the shots, and I'm not a needle guy, so that's a hard no. Instead, you could choose Lean from Brickhouse Nutrition, and here's why. Weight loss shots work by helping control blood sugar and appetite so you eat less. No argument. Shots can work for many people, but Lean was doctor formulated to do similar things naturally, all right? Lean helped tackle my hunger and help support my steady energy without constant cravings. And Lean did something injections don't. It helped my body turn fat into energy, so I burn fat instead of storing it. How about that? My favorite part, Lean is a nutritional supplement, not a shot, no prescriptions, no needles. You can lose weight with Lean. If I can lose weight with Lean, if Dan can lose weight with Lean, you can lose weight with Lean too. Go to brickhousenutrition.com/Dan. Use the promo code Dan, D-A-N, for 20% off. These statements have not been evaluated by the FDA. And this product is not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease and is not a substitute or alternative for care from a healthcare provider. brickhousenutrition.com/Dan. All right, let's roll, baby. Let's go. There's the bell. The bell rings. Weekend update. Brendan and I went and we experienced a full-blown Southern extravaganza over the weekend. I have never seen anything like this.
It's not just Southern, it's redneck.
It was a
redneck extravaganza.
Full-blown redneck extravaganza. We went to the Super Pull of the South. It was a tractor pull, and they had these small modified tractors, loud. One guy almost got ran over by the sled. It was just absolutely wild. Our buddy who we met through the Kenneth Barrett campaign here in Rutherford County, Kenneth Barrett for sheriff, we went, he's been telling us about it for months. He's like, you got to go to this. You got to go to this. We went. Super fun. So if you've never been to one of those, we went to an antique one a few months ago. Slow. This is you got carbon emissions. The liberals, if they saw the smoke that was getting thrown in the air, they would have been like that lady, no, with the green on, the screaming Karen.
Right.
Trump's, yeah. So
Fan wanted me to let you know that the one that crashed was from Canada.
Really?
Yeah.
Of course it was. Of course it
I
was.
saw this morning.
Is that true?
Yeah.
That's verified?
Yeah.
All right.
That's what he told me.
All right. Well, you know what? It works for me. He wouldn't lie. There was a guy who crashed from Canada. Screw him. Now, there are some good Canadian fans out there, but, ever since we did a little butt whooping 3 for 3 in the Olympics, Canada has not been too fond of yours truly. So we went to a tractor pull. It was a lot of fun. All right. Look, we're going to get into mainstream media fumbling the cause of and the source of a lot of the crime that we're seeing, especially a couple of stories over the weekend. I talked about this last week, by the way. There was a story out of Utah, which is old news at this point, but 2 13-year-old girls, unfortunately, were raped in a park by 18-year-old Arab nationals. And they were like, wait, it's illegal to do this in a park? Yeah, it's illegal to do that in a park. Stop doing the things that you do in your third world savage countries over here. We're not like that. We don't live like that. We don't want to live like that. You have to assimilate to our culture. And if you can't, you have to leave. So in New York City, you have Zoran the Moron Mamdani over there. In New York City, there was a stabbing. We'll get to that in a second. But in Berlin, did you hear about this Pride Parade event that took place? Let me ask you a question in the live chat, real quick. Islam and the LGBTQ community. Don't worry about gays for Palestine, which makes no sense. It's like chickens for Chick-fil-A. Right? Like Chick-fil-A has an ad campaign about this. Like cows are like, go eat more chicken so that the cows stop getting slaughtered, right? Islam, the Muslim Islamic religion, and LGBTQ, do they get along? Or is that more along the lines of like an oil and water type relationship where you can shake them up and they'll be like kind of blended for a minute, but then after that, it's like they just don't go together. Okay, the answer is clearly they don't go together. So in Berlin, there was a pride parade, and an Islamist terror suspect drove his van into the parade. And the reporting on this from mainstream media, van drives into van. Was it a Waymo? They have those in Germany. Van drives into crowd of LGBT parade. What? Wait a second. The van did it by itself? Now, how the hell does that work? This story gets even funnier. The media, why they refuse? Maybe they're afraid that their heads are going to get cut off if they call this stuff out. Why they refuse to actually call out the source of the problem is beyond me. I can't tell you I know the motivation for sure, but I can tell you that it's very disturbing. And this, Dan calls it the unholy alliance, the red-green alliance, whatever, however you want to refer to it. Frank Gaffney has a lot of great work on this. We actually just saw Frank Gaffney give a speech at the Murray County Republican Party's Lincoln Reagan Day event here in Tennessee a couple of weeks ago, talking about how Sharia law is an existential threat to the country that we know and love, right? Why the media refuses to call this out, as if what? You're nice to these people now that when they get in power, they're not gonna lop your heads off too. I'm sorry to be graphic this early on a Monday morning, but sometimes blunt force truth is what you need. Okay? Now I'm not going out there and telling you to judge everybody based off of what they look like or their religion and whatnot, but there's a very specific, couple of quotes like slay the infidels wherever you find them. Like, I don't see that in the Bible, right? It's always like this kind of violent, scary. Like, don't slay. No, leave my head attached. I like my head. It looks good on my neck. Leave it alone. According to German daily Bild, the 21-year-old alleged ISIS-inspired terrorist, Abdul Balut, was shot and killed during a SWAT team operation in the Spandau district of Berlin yesterday. This came after a manhunt was launched after a van was driven into revelers at Berlin's Christopher Street Day Pride Parade, killing one and leaving 29 injured. Gays for Palestine, am I right? Are you still queers for Palestine? This is a guy, this is probably a free Palestine guy. He's ISIS. I would imagine he's sympathetic to that cause, right? Who just mowed down a bunch of you guys and gals. 29 injured, 1 dead. The paper reported that Special Task Force police officers had come under attack from the suspect with a blade after he was discovered hiding in a garden shed. The officers returned fire and the suspect reportedly died 6:34 p.m. local time. And he had the media going, van drives into crowd. Van drives in. I said the van came up with the idea all by itself. That reminds me of like when the media used to talk about COVID, right? Especially when we had Andrew Cuomo. For those of you who were in New York during that time, I was. And you had Andrew Cuomo making up these bizarre rules, right? You must not stay out after 11 o'clock p.m. And then like 2 weeks later, he was like, then it was midnight. Would you sit down with the virus and sign a memorandum of understanding? Now the virus doesn't come out till midnight. Smartest virus in the history of viruses, by the way. It also, COVID, I don't know if you know this, infected people based off of what they were protesting. If you had a sign that said Black Lives Matter, that was as good as the vaccine. It was actually better than the vaccine, considering how bad that failed. But if you had a sign that said Trump 2020 or reopen the country, the virus got you immediately. You were a super spreader. It's amazing how smart these vans are taking it upon themselves now to mow over people in a pride event. It's like that clip from Los Angeles last year. I wouldn't call this a riot. It's just a bunch of people standing around having fun watching cars burn. That's a real clip. It's out there. It's unbelievable. Wait, so the cars just decided, hey, you got like a Chevrolet, you got a Ford, a Volkswagen, and a Mercedes, and they were just sitting on the block. Hey, it'd be really fun. Let's light ourselves on fire. These people want to see cars burn. Well, how'd the cars start burning, guys? I don't know. There's like a linguistic term. It's like passive language. I don't know what that is. It's like the van did not drive into a crowd of people. A person drove the van into a crowd of people. But they do this in order to cover for, I guess, who they think their friends are. Like, if we're nice to them now, they'll be nice to us later. That's not the way it works. There's a town in Michigan, not Dearborn, another one, where a bunch of Islamists pretended to be all about the LGBTQ movement, got on the city council, and then, boom, no pride events allowed after that. Isn't that interesting? There's a principle of this whole religion, taqiyya, I think it's what it's called. Like, you're allowed to lie in order to gain power, and then you could just stop lying. And
that sounds like those things you microwave. The little
like a
Mexican
taquito.
roll-ups, yeah.
That's a little bit. Those are tasty. Taquilla is not tasty. According to the Berlin Public Prosecutor's Office, Abdul, remember Abdul? We talked about Abdul. That's Trump's story with Abdul is hysterical. The Taliban guy. I said, it's a nice house, Abdul. Be ashamed if we drop Stacey Abrams on it. No, sir, please don't drop Stacey on my house. Abdul had made multiple attempts to join the so-called Islamic State while overseas, including in Lebanon, where he reportedly planned on journeying to Syria to join ISIS. That's just real nice. You know what's funny? In Europe, they love to be tolerant, right? It's their big thing. We have to be tolerant. We have to be accepting, right? We have to treat these people with care and love. No, you don't. Not if they're members of ISIS. It's like in New York City, before we left. Remember in 2022? Mm-hmm. If you're approached by a mugger, ask them to stop nicely. Please stop. Didn't I go to school with you? That's supposed to disarm. That's a real thing. That's a real thing. When Eric Adams, when Mayor Gugu was in charge.
Gugu.
Right? Gugu what they said.
Google what they said.
Mayor Eric Adams, that's a real thing. They were like, because they don't want confrontations and they definitely don't want you to call the police. So they were saying, like, if you're being mugged on the streets of New York City back in 2022, they said, ask the assailant if you went to school with them. Like, they're going to stab me. Hey, didn't I go to high school? No. And there, what is rule number 1? Don't get dead, right?
Yep.
Yeah. That's a pretty good way to get dead, by asking someone who's got a knife getting ready to plunge it into your heart. Hey, didn't we go to school together? Stupid. How stupid. While in Lebanon, Abdul was sentenced to 3 months in prison for allegedly, quote, inciting religious and sectarian conflicts. Following his release from detention in Lebanon, by the way, 3 months? The guy's inciting terroristic, events, 3 months. Holy smokes. All right. Following his release from detention in Lebanon, he returned to Germany at the Berlin Brandenburg Airport. He'd been held in juvenile detention for a sentence of 1 year and 10 months. However, he was released in May while being ordered to attend a de-radicalization counseling. That didn't work. Addressing reporters on Sunday ahead of the killing of the suspected terrorist, German Chancellor Friedrich Merz said, "Our thoughts are with the victims of last night's terrorist Islamist attack." Hey, at least she said the I word. Most people in Europe are afraid to acknowledge the I word, Islamist, with their families and friends, and I especially wish the injured a speedy recovery. De-radicalization counseling. All right, it's time to scrap that program. It didn't work. It turns out, I know this might be breaking news. People are probably shocked by this revelation. Totally shocked. But like when somebody makes up their mind to join a terror syndicate, like ISIS, there's like no de-radicalizing them. I mean, there's one way to de-radicalize them, but it's not a nice thing.
They got to meet their maker.
Right.
Yeah.
You know that song by The Offspring?
No.
Hit them right between the eyes.
Oh.
Hit that one.
Yeah. Yeah, I do know that one.
That's one way to de-radicalize a terrorist. And then you don't have to deal with them ever again.
That's true.
But that's cruel. They call that cruel. Unusual. I'd say it's appropriate. Look, somebody is pledging to kill me. What do I want to do? Well, I want them to not be able to kill me. And, one of the best ways to ensure that is to not throw them into counseling, but either put them in jail or, you ever see that scene from the movie Taken?
Mm-hmm.
Where Liam Neeson slams the rods into that guy's knees and then connects the jumper cables to the circuit, turns the lights on, fries him, and walks out of the room?
Oof.
Great scene.
Good luck.
Great scene.
I remember that one.
That's
the good luck
another
from
good
him.
scene. Yes, good luck.
Good luck.
Yes. Yeah. It reminds me of the show 24 also. Jack Bauer, crazy. Damn it, Chloe. Great show. All right. So that happened in Berlin. And what bothered me was the media's characterization of this event. The fact that they do this all the time, right? Guns are the things that kill people, not the people who pull the trigger. Vehicles come up with the idea all by themselves to drive into crowds, not people behind the wheel, right? It's always, they'll always attack the instrument and not the person playing it, right? Could you imagine that? Imagine you have it's the old phrase, like, it ain't the arrow, it's the Indian. When I used to work at Sherwin-Williams, I used to deal with this all the time. I'd get people complaining about the brush, the paintbrush. It ain't the brush. It's you. Okay? Like, you might just be a bad painter. This brush is terrible. I was like, well, you've said that about every brush on the wall. So I think the common denominator is you.
It's hard to find a good painter, I'll tell you.
It ain't the arrow. It's the Indian. Right? Could you imagine, like, you're at like a concert and the band is terrible and they just start blaming like the guitar. It's like, I think it might be because you drank too much last night. I don't think it's the guitar. You used that guitar last time, right? Stop blaming the instrument. Start blaming the people who are playing the instrument for sucking. And in this case, this guy drove the van into a crowd of people. So again, I'm just asking, and I'm asking our left-wing media so-called friends and all the liberals that are going to tune in and watch, and of course you can't forget the Islamic sympathizers out there, right? Who have the Podcastistan, who apparently has declared that the Jews are bad. I don't know. I don't see anything in the Torah that says behead the infidels.
No.
I mean, don't get me wrong. Jews can be kind of angry at times, a little vindictive. It's all right. I come from New York. Yeah. It's all right. But they don't. When Jews get upset, they don't blow themselves up.
No,
I've never seen
grudges.
That. They just hold grudges.
It's fine. Like Italians.
Look at us being stereotypical today. It's great. And we love the Jews.
I love the Jews.
We love
I
the
have
Jews.
no problem.
We have no problem. We're just being funny, okay? For everyone, oh my gosh. No, relax. But to our media friends, I use that term lightly, right? Let's get him out. Let's get him out.
Who do you think you are?
Yeah, who do I think I am, right? Calling out the fact that a radical Islamist drove a vehicle into a pack of pride thing. And listen, I don't like pride parades, but they don't deserve to be ran over. Okay? I wonder how they feel about, Queers for Palestine, where that group is and all that. You still want to do those little parades? Like, we're gay and we want to see Palestine free. I think you should hold a Gays for Palestine rally in Palestine, and let's see how long that lasts. Because a lot of that, I think they're going to divert the parade up to the top of the building off the top. That's why I say let Iran just kind of wither away. If their Ayatollah is truly gay, they'll take care of him by themselves. Right? So there it is. Pivoting away from Berlin, I do want to get to another story in New York City. Same theme, and the media once again refusing to call this out. This is a stabbing in New York City. 2 men were stabbed in broad daylight in Mamdani's New York City, Manhattan's Upper West Side. I don't know if you heard about this one, but 2 men. One of them was, as they reported, visibly Jewish. I don't know what that means. I don't know if he was one of those Orthodox Jews where you can see they wear the outfit and the hat, or if maybe he had a yarmulke on. I don't know what visibly Jewish means, but that they said that one of them was visibly Jewish. The New York City Police Department said one of the victims is Jewish, and that witnesses reported hearing the suspect who did the stabbing yell, "Allahu Akbar." Okay? Allahu Akbar, I think that means in Islamic or Arabic, but God is good or something, right? Investigators are evaluating whether the reported attack should be classified as a hate crime. I would say so. I'd say so. On Tuesday, Zohran Mamdani last week was being pressed about his big, bold plan to arrest Bibi Netanyahu. I'm going to do it. And then he said, nope, I'm not going to do it. Can I ask a question, by the way, speaking of Mamdani? Are you tired on the left of being played yet? Anyone tired of being played yet? This guy promised you the world. He promised he was going to arrest Netanyahu. Can't do that. Where's your city-run grocery stores? Oh, no, they're coming. Yeah, sure they are. That, like the horse with the carrot in front. I'm going to get it eventually. No, you're not. It's just rigged to keep you working. But rents. Are rents back to being affordable in New York City? Are they affordable yet? Oh, they're not? Oh, okay. Oh, he's taxing the rich. But then again, the rich are leaving, so he's not going to actually be able to tax them for very long. So I guess you could say he kept that promise, but that's not going to last because, as we said, if you go to somebody with a lot of money and be like, yo, I'm going to take all of that, then you'd be like, well, actually, I'm going to move it to a place where you can't get it. Turns out that's what a lot of those rich people are doing in New York City. Gee, you could have seen that coming. Only people with a working brain cell and an IQ above that of the average Somali. And they have that room. They say the Somali IQ is very low. Like room temperature would be high. I would say it's probably like 30. I mean, just look at Ilhan Omar. Some people did something, right? Oh, goodness gracious. I can't stand that woman. How about the free buses? You guys got free buses in New York City? You don't? Wait, what happened? I thought this guy was going to give you the free buses. How about the free childcare?
It's all Trump's fault.
It's Trump's fault. How about the free childcare? You got the childcare? Oh, you don't have that either? Oh, wait, you have to work for New York City in order to have free childcare? So it's not for all? It's just for some? Oh, and it's just for government workers. Oh, I see. I see where the power is consolidated in New York City. All right. Okay. So none of the promises have been kept. Rents are out of control. The rich are leaving, so you're not going to be able to tax them. By the way, when the rich leave, who do you think he's going to tax next? You think he's just going to give up on the whole tax and spend agenda and consolidate all the money? You think he's going to do that? No, he's going to come after you. I'm just saying. So none of the promises have been kept from Zohran Mamdani, but he's great. New York City, utopia. By the way, all the leftists in the country, if you were thinking of moving to Tennessee, don't come here. Go there. This state's closed. It's great. You got Mamdani. It's amazing. Mamdani said last week, I've been briefed on today's horrifying stabbings in the Upper West Side where an Asian man and a Jewish man were attacked. According to witness and victim statements, the perpetrator yelled Allahu Akbar during both attacks. I'm relieved that both victims are in stable condition. Okay. That's nice. The media, this is even better. The media came out and said about this attack that the motive has not been officially established. Okay, maybe it hasn't been officially established. It's all right. Maybe it's not official. Maybe it's not officially official. Okay. I think we could kind of assume a motive, though.
We don't know, but we know.
Yeah, there you go, Candace. Wait. And she stole that line from Finding Nemo, by the way.
You never really know, but when they know, you'll know, you know?
You so totally rock, squirt. Give me some fin.
Oh.
Noggin. Dude. She forgets to give me fin all the
I
time.
always forget.
I'm sitting there hanging with the fin out.
It's
and
bad.
she's just like,
I'm in my own little world over here.
I'm like, give me the fin. Yeah. She stole that, Candace. We don't know, but we know. You never really know, but when they know, you know. Great movie. I'm pretty sure we could at least hypothesize, a motive. If a Jewish guy and an Asian guy are stabbed by a guy yelling Allahu Akbar, I'm pretty sure radical Islamic terror. Maybe that's I don't know. Is that out of the realm of possibilities? This is New York City that we're talking about. I mean, look at the mayor. The media is a joke. And that's why I love what Donald Trump did at the White House Correspondents' Dinner. Did you see some of these clips from the White House Correspondents' Dinner over the weekend? The dinner got rescheduled. Why did it get rescheduled? Do you remember why that dinner got rescheduled, Brennan?
Which one?
The White House Correspondents' Dinner?
No.
Yeah, they tried to kill Trump a couple months ago. Remember that lunatic who ran in and tried to shoot at Trump and he got shot? And
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I do remember that.
that crazy guy from California who was like a teacher, right? Teacher? What? Teachers never do things like that. Oh, yes, they do. I mean, there are some good teachers, but a lot of them are left-wing lunatics. They're teaching your kids. All right, so Donald Trump was at the White House Correspondents' Dinner, which is great because he's full of a room. It's a room full of people who don't like him, even though without him, they'd have nothing to talk about. They focus on him 24/7, but they say they don't like him, but they secretly love him because if they don't talk about him, they don't get ratings, right? If they talk about anything else, they don't get ratings. It's got to be anti-Trump. They were like, remember CNN? Oh, we're doing an in-depth investigation into algae in the reflecting pool, right? It's like, what?
Google what they said.
Not that.
Algae!
There it is. That's the leftist screaming algae.
Let's go, Algae! Let's go!
There you go. Hey, CNN was on scene. We're on scene at the reflect. They were like, it was like this breaking story. We're on scene at the reflecting pool. The algae is advancing. It's like they were reporting on like a battle or like football. They have all right, third down and 12. The quarterback lines up in the shotgun, drops back to pass, looks left, looks right, throws deep down the field. Left side, it's caught on the sideline. What a grab, right? Like they were reporting on it. They even got like an algae expert to come down. We sent, you got the action shot? Boys, you got the action shot? Look at all the algae in the water. We're going to send it off for tests. No in-depth, by the way, exposés about like the fraud in Minnesota, Leering centers, the border, the crime that was being committed, by these illegal aliens coming across the border. None of that. But algae in the reflecting pool, that's what it is. Why? Because the story makes Trump look bad, right? Oh, you can't get the algae under control, right? So this is a room full of people that has no choice but to talk about Trump, because if they don't talk about Trump, people aren't going to watch. And so that's what they do. Trump equals ratings. Well, here's Trump. He's got them all in front of him. And he started immediately with some amazing... This guy is one of the best trolls. He's one of the best trolls in history. And he trolled Caitlin Collins, who, I've always thought she kind of looks a little like a dude, a little bit. And then Scott Pressler was out there. He would comment on her picture saying, "This is not me," right? And I'm like, oh, gosh, that's bad. So Donald Trump trolled Caitlin Collins and didn't just say that Caitlin Collins looks like a man, but said that Caitlin Collins looked like Dylan Mulvaney. Can we play this? This one made my day.
But I want to personally congratulate CNN's Caitlin Collins on receiving her award. It was all about me. It's a fake. She shouldn't get the award. It was a fake, but I didn't mind. I said, Caitlin, congratulations. But it was fake. There's no question about it. But she's a young, attractive woman. She never smiles. I said, Caitlin, do you ever smile? Smile. You have a nice position. You're at CNN Fake News. You should be a happy person. So smile, Caitlin. Just smile. But we attack, and I thought Caitlin had really made it big with a major new sponsorship. But then I informed her that it wasn't her on the Bud Light can. It was Dylan Mulvaney. And Dylan Mulvaney cost Bud Light $35 billion
Oh, my
in market cap. That was the worst commercial ever made, by the way, for those few people that want to hear that. Most people don't care, but I would. I wouldn't want to hire Dylan anytime soon.
Oh my goodness. You know, and there are people, oh, Donald Trump is picking on a woman. Oh, he's such a misogynist. Shut up. Shut up. All of you, zip the lip, okay? These people have called him Hitler. They've accused him of being a rapist. They have said the most vile things. Well, he deserves it. No, he doesn't. He's a human being just like you. And you know what? The guy, first of all, this guy's from Queens, New York. You're not going to mess with this guy for a long time without him punching back. That's number one. All right, number two, it's funny. Caitlin Collins looks like Dylan Mulvaney. You can't dispute it. It's not one of those things that's up for debate. Caitlin Collins resembles Dylan Mulvaney very closely. I think he posted on Truth Social yesterday the Mulvaney thing where she's holding the beer and but Caitlin Collins' face instead of Dylan Mulvaney. It's pretty close. I scrolled through it a couple times thinking it was actually Mulvaney. It's great. I mean, if there's a group of people that deserves to be clowned endlessly and shamed endlessly like that, it's the mainstream media. This group fell for the Russia hoax, or maybe they didn't fall for it, because that sounds like they're innocent. A lot of them were willing participants in the Russia hoax. And then a gajillion hoaxes after that, and gajillion's not even a real number. But they fell for it. They pushed it. They were willing participants in it. Okay? Think. Russia hoax. Let's go down a list of I'm going to use the live chat here. Let's go down some of our favorite hoaxes. Let's go down a list of some of our favorite hoaxes that the mainstream media pushed. The Russia hoax, the Fine People hoax was good. Where's my Trump head? Very fine people on both sides, right? Except the white nationalists, the neo-Nazis, and the white supremacists. We don't want to deal with that. I'd say he said, he condemns them totally. Right? So the Fine People hoax, the Russia hoax. What else we got? I'm watching the chat, looking. It's moving really quick. I'm like, suckers and losers. That's right. The Atlantic. Remember suckers and losers? He said that Donald Trump called veterans suckers and losers. That never happened. What else? Masks work. Fiery but mostly peaceful. That was a good one. That was a great one. Remember CNN? Action shot again. Instead of being in front of the reflecting pool with a cup full of algae, they were standing in front of an auto zone on fire. Oh, we are here. It's a fiery, but it's a mostly peaceful process. The auto zone is burning down behind you. Who are you fooling? By the way, go in front of a building that's not burning down and push the fiery but mostly peaceful narrative. Dumb. Russia. Y2K, that's a throwback. I'm still Charlottesville, that's the Fine People hoax. Stormy Daniels, January 6th, safe and effective. Yeah, I like that one. Remember the bloodbath hoax? The bloodbath hoax. Donald Trump is calling for blood in the streets. Donald Trump said there would be an economic bloodbath if he didn't win the election. He's calling for blood in the streets. Wrong. Baskets of deplorables. That wasn't necessarily a hoax. The border is secure. Good one. PP tape. That's the Russia hoax, right? That's the, drink bleach. Lady Mustang in the chat. I'm reading this here. Lady Mustang. Beautiful person. We love that. Drink bleach. Donald Trump never said to drink bleach. And they were like, he's accusing people. He's telling people to drink bleach to cure COVID. Never said that. He was talking about a promising treatment, though, where they actually inject UV, like ultraviolet, because sunlight is the greatest disinfectant. It's the cliche, but it's true. And it clears viruses and bacteria from your body. But he said disinfectant, so they thought, chug Lysol. Remember the lady who killed her husband with the fish tank cleaner? He was talking about hydroxychloroquine, so she fed him chloroquine phosphate. Well, Donald Trump never said to drink fish tank cleaner. And then it says, the best part, I looked up the item that she fed him. On the bottle, it says, not for human consumption. So what did she do? She fed it to her husband because she wanted to kill him. And she blamed Trump. Okay. Epstein's a good one. Yep, that's a hoax. Not that nothing happened with Epstein, but that Donald Trump was somehow involved. Trump grabbed the steering wheel. That was a good. I am not going to say that name, though, because that's just a crazy name.
Oh, my.
Yeah, but Trump grabbed the steering wheel. Yeah, that's funny. Ukraine Ukraine quid pro quo. That was a good one. That was a really good one. Oh, my gosh. Look at all these hoaxes. Covington High School. I forgot about Covington High School. Yeah, Nick Sandman. That's right. That's right. Laptop. Faked his assassination. There it is. And then, of course, Dragon Aura says, Shawn Farash, you rock. I appreciate you. Thank you. Thank you so much. All right. Eating the cats and dogs. Tylenol and S-hole country. Yes. Yeah, look at I forgot about the Tylenol hoax. All right. All right, let's move on to another clip from the White House Correspondents' Dinner. We kind of lost the plot, but the chat's on fire today, so thank you so much. 35,000 people here right now. Beautiful people. Everybody take this link, share it on your social medias right now. You got to do it. If you don't do it, we're going to deport you. You're getting deported. You're going to go to a third world country. We're going to send you to Haiti, right, with all the TPS. We're going to talk about them. We're going to send you to Haiti. You don't want to do that. We don't want to do that. Thank you so much for being here, everybody. Thank you so much for being here. All right, let's move on to the next one. We kind of got a little lost there. It was called The Weave. Let's weave right back. Here's Trump. By the way, who is one of Donald Trump's least favorite senators right now? Shifty Schiff, right? Shifty Adam Schiff. I remember when I left him a voicemail? I can't believe I actually did that. I left him. You can go on my YouTube channel, youtube.com. I don't know what the thing is. Just search Shawn Farash, Adam Schiff. You'll probably find it. All right. I left him a voicemail as Trump after he got censured, but I recorded it and posted it immediately because if I didn't and he fell for it, it could have actually got Donald Trump in trouble. And I said, you're a watermelon head. You're a pencil neck. You're a nasty person. So here's Adam Schiff. Donald Trump actually clowning Adam Schiff at the White House Correspondents' Dinner. Let's roll this one. This is a great one. We got Trump and Schiff. It's he clowns all over pencil neck. Watermelon head. Here it is.
Not to have a comedian, so they considered using Jimmy Kimmel, Jimmy Fallon. These guys, they're terrible. They're terrible. Stephen Colbert. These are people without talent. They get a lot. They have talent. You know who has talent? Their agent, getting them the money they get. They have no talent. But they are not comedians. They're not funny people. They're angry people. They're sick people. But the association really put on a big show, and they have somebody very special. I look forward to seeing him. And so they thought about going with a professional clown for entertainment, but Adam Shifty Schiff was not available. You know, he's known, I called him, I hate some people. You know, I shouldn't say this. I'm not supposed to hate. I'm supposed to love everybody. But he's a terrible person. He's a liar. And I called him Watermelon Head because he has the largest head I've ever seen with the smallest neck, pencil neck. How does that big, fat, ugly head stand on a little pencil neck? And then I'm told that even Rosie O'Donnell reached out from Ireland. She really wanted to be here in order to honor me. She loves me very much, and she was desperate to come back to the United States and pay her respect to Donald J. Trump. But that didn't work out, unfortunately, because nobody wanted her to come back.
By the way, I talked to the the Prime Minister of Ireland. I said, if you send Rosie back, we're going to tariff you 5,000% per pound. That's a lot. You don't want to deal with that. That's a lot. But he said to me, sir, you have to take Rosie back, sir. She's eating us out of house and home. She's causing another potato famine, sir. You have to take Rosie back. And he said, we're going to send her back. I said, you can't do that. If you do that, we're hitting you with tariffs the likes of which 5,000% per pound, the likes of which nobody's ever seen before. I love this Adam Schiff stuff. I love making fun. He does have a big head. Have you seen that head? It is a watermelon, quite literally a watermelon propped up on a pencil. It's great. This is a pen, by the way, not an actual bullet, so I don't want anyone to get mad. Brennan got me this years ago. It's cool. It says We the People on it. It's pretty cool. All right. Last but not least, Donald Trump trolls. Donald Trump trolls about the 2028 election. All right. He trolled about it. He's got his Trump 2028 hat. I have one as well. After this cut, I want you to think in the live chat. Use your noggins, okay? Give me some fin, noggin, right? Use the noggins. Use those noodles. And some of you know. If you know, you know. And if you don't know, then you know. Maybe you know, maybe you don't know. I don't know. Am I doing good? Maybe I'll fill in for Candace next. I'm only kidding. I don't want to do that. Although that's easier because then you could just make stuff up and not actually have to do real prep. You could just make things up. Egyptian planes, you could just make things up. Think of what the loophole is that Donald Trump is going to use to run in 2028. And while you think of that, enjoy Donald Trump trolling the media. Listen to how quiet the room gets when he says, I'm going to run for. It's quiet because they think he's serious. They don't understand. They think he's a dictator. He's a king. Let's roll this Donald Trump. Trump 2028 from the White House Correspondents' Dinner.
We are all doing good together. That's why tonight, to show just how much I care about the press, and I want to save your ratings, I'm pleased to announce my intention to, and this is somewhat of a scoop, my intention to run for a 4th term as President of the United States. I will be doing that. I will be having an official, in fact, I think I won 3 times. Now I'm going to do it again. Thank you. I'm going to do it. Should be easy. I'm getting very good at running for president. No, I won 3 times, did very well the 2nd time, by the way. It's a rigged election, but we don't have to talk about it. You know, it's interesting, when you come back and you do a good job like we did, and you don't care about it so much, but we do have to tighten up these elections because they really are in seriously bad shape. But
there's Mutleys all over the chat right now. Mutleys everywhere. And I see some people who know the loophole. It's the best loophole. Look at all these Mutleys. There's Mutleys all over the place. All over. And I see some people saying it. The loophole that Donald Trump, look how fast this chat is moving. That is out of control. How is that even possible? Look at it. That's out of control. Okay. I saw some people before this avalanche took place, holy smokes, saying Donna J. Trump. Yes, that is the loophole. Folks, I self-praise stinks, as Dan says, but I am a genius. I found the best. This is insanity. I can't even, I'm gonna like literally, I'm gonna have a seizure staring at this screen. It's like out of control. Donna J. Trump, my fellow Americans, it is, I made a video of this, I'm going to remix it here. My fellow Americans, it is my complete total honor to announce that I'm giving my endorsement to a highly respected woman who's going to be running for president in 2028. Her name is Donna Juliet Trump. Donna, she's tremendous, I have to say that. And she's a fantastic woman. She has long flowing hair and, they said beautiful. What is the word? A lot of people call them gazungas, right? They say, sir. I said, it's ma'am. You're not supposed to do that. I am transitioning to Donna and running for president in 2028 because if you call me Donald, it's called dead naming. You can't do that. Isn't that not brilliant? He should try it. Why not at the end of his term? Maybe not now, but like towards the end of his term, try it, right? And because the point is not to actually take it seriously. The point is to show everyone how ridiculous it is. No, you can't just identify as a woman and now you're a new person. Donna. We love Donna. Donna's a beautiful woman. She's fantastic. She got a Brazilian butt lift. It's incredible. She's a fantastic person. She's smart. She's talented. She's highly respected. She sounds like me, but she looks a little different. She wears beautiful MAGA red, ruby red lipstick. Donna Trump, 2028. She's going to do a fantastic job. And she has my complete and total endorsement. They say to me, sir, you can't say that. It's ma'am. You have to use my preferred pronouns. Madam President are my preferred pronouns. Donna Trump. Who on the left is going to argue with that? He's making a mockery. You're a mockery. This whole thing is a mockery. So a guy can pretend he's a girl and go swim in a swimming pool and steal the championship away from women, but Donald Trump can't identify as Donna and run for another term? Why not? You're telling me it's a brand new identity. It's a brand new person. I'm just playing by your rules, unless, of course, your rules are BS and they're not real and you're just using it for, power and an attempt to, mobilize voters. Is that what it is? Maybe. All right. Holy cow. Yeah, the first female transgender president, Donna Juliet Trump. I'm all about it. She's a beautiful person. They say, ma'am, you're a smoke show, ma'am. You're a 10. You're an 11 when you think about it. Unbelievable. Donna. We love Donna. All right. I posted it on my X account yesterday just to have some fun because the 2028 thing was in the news. So had to play around with it. All right. Let's take a quick break. We got to get to a quick word from our friends over at Supershore. Supershore. All right. We love Supershore. Ladies and gentlemen, let me tell you something. When you sign your insurance policy, for some brokers, that's the finish line. Handshake, commission, done. You may not hear from them again until it's time for renewal. Your business runs all year, and so do the gaps and the risks. That's why I am introducing Supershore. If your company has more than 25 employees, whether you're the owner, the CFO, or HR manager, it can be too complex to just buy a policy online. Supershore is the super agency built for you. Licensed in every state for your business insurance and employee benefits. At supershore.com, you can access tools like fine print facts, which translates your current policy into plain English so you can see what's covered and what's not. Plus, a business value calculator so you can estimate what your business is worth so you know what needs protecting. Go to supershore.com/Bongino. One super agency, one powerful platform, all your policies in one place. That is supershore.com/Bongino. Consult with a licensed insurance producer to discuss coverage options for your specific business needs. Paid for by Supershore Insurance Agency, LLC, a licensed insurance agency. Supershore.com/Bongino. Thank you, Supershore, for being a part of the show. All right, where shall we go next? Let's keep on rolling. I know they have this thing called the Nothing is Happening file, which is great. I laugh every time. And usually, by the way, I listen to Dan when I'm on my treadmill sprinting. I'm sprinting hard on an incline, and all of a sudden I hear that dun, 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 dun. I start laughing, and it throws my breath off. So, you guys are going to kill me with the Nothing is Happening file. Because there's a lot of people that, here it is. Yeah, nothing is happening. I love it. Yeah, the Nothing is Happening file. All right. So, I don't know where this one came from. There's been this thought that there's no mass deportations happening. And I guess it was because we're in this microwave your steak generation where if it doesn't happen right now, it's not happening, right? It's but you wouldn't microwave your steak just to cook your steak faster, right? You want to go low and slow. I made a roast beef last night, the likes of which you would not believe. Mwah! It's so good. The meat was melting like butter. So good. But I cooked it low and slow. You don't microwave your steak. You cook it. You use you put a little time into it, your due diligence. Just because your steak's not done fast doesn't mean you're not going to eventually eat it. But this whole idea there's no mass deportations happening. Well, that's not true. Okay, Mark Wayne Mullen, you love him, hate him. Some people don't like him, whatever. I have my issues with some of the things that he says and some of the reactions. That's fine. But according to Mark Wayne Mullen, up until this point, 900,000, this is what the Department of Homeland Security have put out, 900,000 involuntary deportations have taken place. You go, that's not enough. I know, because there's 40 million of them in the country on the high side. Although I saw somebody being sensational online going, there's 96 million. It's why does the number keep going up? It's because we keep doing the deportations and you keep shifting the goalposts. It's not enough. I want them all out. Trust me. I'm with you. It's one of the biggest problems facing our country. And it's the source of a lot of the issues, source of a lot of crime, source of affordability issues. You have, when you add 30, 40 million people, even if you go low side, 10 to 20 million people to the demand side of the supply-demand equation, you're going to see costs rise. That's just, it's economics 101, supply and demand. The more demand, the higher the cost. The less demand and greater supply, the lower the cost, right? So 900,000 involuntary deportations. These are the people that ICE, they apprehended, they stuck them in the Trump pult and they flung them across the border. Involuntary deportations. Then you have the voluntary deportations. They go, well, those don't count. Why don't those count? They're not here. It's over 3 million. So if you're saying we're over 3 million voluntary deportations, i.e. self-deportations, and 900,000 involuntary deportations, right? Trump-a-pult, that's almost 4 million people. Are you going to tell me that's not a lot of people? Are you going to tell me that that's nothing? Now, granted, I know we have like 10x that amount, 40 million. But 4 million people not being in the country anymore after a year and a half is pretty good. Okay? That's a lot of people. Is it enough? No. Should we stop there? No. But is it nothing? Also no. But one of the big ones was that Supreme Court ruling a couple weeks ago where where temporary protected status for those Haitians, right? It was ruled that it could be, revoked. And it was revoked, and now they're all, in the country illegally. And everyone was upset that like 300,000 people didn't get deported overnight. First of all, how do you plan on getting rid of 300,000 people overnight when you're already spread thin as it is? But folks, you got to understand these things take time. There is a process to follow. And so just because it didn't happen within the first 90 minutes of the Supreme Court ruling doesn't mean it's not going to happen at all. So here we go on Red State, Jennifer Oliver O'Connell. ICE mounts operation to remove TPS Haitians from the United States. And now you're going to see everybody who was bitching and moaning, now they're going to let the Haitians stay. They're going to pretend like they never said that. It's like Alex Jones and one of his, quote unquote friends. April 2nd, 2022. We got information that Kash Patel's going to be fired today. High-level sources. We all know who that high-level source was. I call him the glory hole gangster. He's a nasty person. I don't know. It's July 27th. I don't know where we are. We're like 120 today's since they said that Kash Patel was being fired today. Still not fired. Anyone want to hold them accountable? By the way, I know that Alex Jones used to sell a lot of supplements. If you bought supplements from an obese guy, that's an issue in and of itself. It's not working for him. It ain't going to work for you. Monday marks the termination of temporary protected status. That's today. Happy Termination Day. So everybody who was hyperventilating over the fact that TPS recipients weren't being deported didn't even know that their status wasn't revoked yet. It's officially revoked today. Monday marks the termination of TPS status for Haitians and Syrians. Reports from Fox News and CBS News indicate Immigration and Customs Enforcement has formulated plans for focused operation to ensure the removal of TPS Haitians from the interior. Areas of particular focus include Indiana, South Florida, and of course, Ohio. Springfield, Ohio. It's where the cats and dogs. We love the cats and dogs. We love cats. We love dogs. They were eating them. You're not supposed to do that. We don't want to see them do that. U.S. Immigration and Customs Enforcement plans to dramatically ramp up operations to locate and arrest Haitian nationals whose TPS status is expected to end imminently, multiple federal sources told Fox News. The expanded operation is expected to begin as soon as this week. But I was told nothing was happening because in June, the Supreme Court issued its decision in Mullen versus Doe, holding that most non-constitutional, i.e. statutory challenges to TPS terminations cannot even be heard by federal courts. So they made the ruling in June. The TPS status doesn't actually expire until today, so you couldn't get rid of them up until now. Now their TPS status is gone, and now we learn that ICE is going after them. Are any of the people who are saying, no, the Haitians are going to be able to stay, are any of those people going to come back and say, whoops, I read that one wrong? Of course not. They're going to pivot and go to the next thing to whine about. You ever notice, by the way, that these whiners, all they focus on is negative? Not one of them has focused on stopping the communist spread in the United States. Not one. I don't see any of the cultists, and I don't know what's going on with Candace Owens right now and these people. They now are demanding to know the location of where Charlie Kirk is buried as if they have the right to that information. Do you understand that you don't have the right to that information? Yes, we do. He was a public figure, but he was a private citizen. You have no, like, the level of entitlement. That's why I say they're leftists. The level of entitlement you must have to demand that you know where his body is buried. As if some of you insane maniacs wouldn't dig the body up because you're in pursuit of evidence. You know it. I actually had one of these guys on X. Oh, the body is evidence, which means you would dig it up. Wackos. It's nobody's right but the family to know where that body is buried. By the way, Dale Earnhardt, the great race car driver, his body is buried in a private location. Well, it's on his family estate in Mooresville. Oh, that's just what you've been told. So you believe the official narrative? You see how I can play the same game too? And I'll play it better than you. I haven't even started to play the game better than they have. I had these guys, Dale Earnhardt wasn't assassinated. Oh, that's what you believe. You must be regurgitating Fed slop if you believe the official Dale Earnhardt narrative. You see how I can play the same dumb game as them? You don't have the right to know where Charlie Kirk's body is buried. Yeah, sure, you have the right to ask the question, but you don't have the right to demand the information. And that's what you people are doing. That family shouldn't tell anybody where that body is buried because you know what the left is going to do. They're going to defile the gravesite. The whole idea is to rest in peace. It's impossible if maniacs know where the body is. So the nothing is happening crowd, swing and a miss right here on the TPS Haitians situation. All right, on to the next one. Because deportation is and immigration is an issue that I care. Look at this guy's hair, by the way, this Breitbart article. 260 criminal aliens arrested in Houston in the first half of July. Houston, Texas. Everything's bigger in Texas, except Chris Christie. You can't get bigger than he already is. I call him a gas giant. You look at him. Somebody threw a tomato at him. It's still going around in orbit. It's Brendan's favorite one. The tomato. She goes, I love the tomato. They threw a tomato at him. He has a moon now. You look at him. He has a moon. Houston, Texas. Amidst the turmoil surrounding the shooting of a Mexican national in Houston earlier this month, officers of ICE, baby, Immigration and Customs Enforcement and Removal Operations, their branch continues to arrest and remove criminal aliens from the streets of the Bayou City, Houston, from July 1st through 15th. ERO officers arrested nearly 260 criminal aliens. Now, mind you, when they say criminal aliens, they're talking about illegal aliens who have committed more than just the crime of entering the country illegally, 8 U.S. Code Section 1325, improper entry by alien. Because in my view, and in the eyes of the law, if you entered the country illegally, 8 U.S. Code Section 1325, you're already a criminal. The very first thing you've done, breaking and entering into the country, is a crime. It's a misdemeanor. It's a felony if you do it twice after being removed. ICE officials revealed to Breitbart, Texas, that Houston ERO officers arrested 259 criminal aliens in the Houston metropolitan area during the first 2 weeks of July. Here we go. We'll go through a list of some names, shall we? Those arrested included dangerous gang members, including members of MS-13, Serenos 13, Tango Blast. That sounds like fun. It sounds like an ice cream flavor. Tango Blast. Paisas, Southwest Cholos. That's your song, Lean, right? Southwest Cholos. I wonder if they lean like a cholo.
Oh, I love leaning like a cholo.
Brown Pride Locos. This is remember the Milks? Remember that?
Oh, the Milks.
Oh, like the
leches.
The leches, yeah. Mara 18 and the Tiny Boys. You the gang called the Tiny Boys? Okay. Officials noted the 259 criminal aliens entered the U.S. illegally a total of 535 times as a group. They had a combined total of 642 arrests. These include more than 400 offenses that either harmed Americans, residents, or endangered public safety. ICE officials told Breitbart that the 642 criminal convictions included charges of 11 total sex offenses, 4 child sex offenses, 70 aggravated assault, or battery convictions, not accusations, convictions, 77 burglary, robbery, or theft convictions, 11 drug trafficking convictions, 1 kidnapping conviction, 3 sex trafficking convictions, 10 hit-and-run convictions, 20 convictions for weapons-related offenses. Where's the left? Gun control. 56 convictions for resisting arrest, fleeing from law enforcement, escape, or obstructing law enforcement. 5 making terroristic threats convictions. 130 DWI convictions, including 6 hit-and-run DWIs, 3 aliens convicted of 4 DWIs, 7 aliens convicted of 3 DWIs, 12 aliens convicted of 2 DWIs. 10 trespassing convictions, 11 alien smuggling convictions, 13 domestic violence convictions, 19 forgery and fraud convictions, and 41 possession of a controlled substance convictions. Those are all of that was 260 people. 260 people were responsible for all of what I just read to you. How on earth do you think that keeping those folks in our country makes our country safer? And it's the truth. That's how the Democrats think. Tim Walz last week or 2 weeks ago came out and there was that child sex offender that he pardoned to try and shield him from deportation. By the way, who's protecting pedophiles again? You literally pardoned a child sex offender because he's an illegal alien. You didn't want him deported. And he said, well, I don't know how getting rid of him makes our community safer. He's a child sex offender. Now he's no longer in your state. By default, it's an addition by subtraction. Your state is now safer because that monster's not there anymore. All those crimes I just read to you. 260 people were responsible for all of that. And there are people, no, ICE, abolish ICE. Abolish ICE? No, we're not going to abolish ICE. Sorry. We're not going to do that. All right. Speaking of abolishing ICE, I'm going to skip the Bernie and the Plattner stuff because the Bernie and the Plattner stuff it's not really too relevant.
Winky's going to be sad. She
Yeah.
loves
Well,
the
I mean,
Bernie.
I'll give her a little Bernie. We got to calibrate my Bernie.
Oligarchy.
Oligarchy. I do not regret endorsing Graham Plattner, even though he has a Nazi tattoo. I don't have a Nazi tattoo. I do have 3 houses. Remember, he used to campaign against the millionaires and billionaires. Now he's a millionaire. So now it's the billionaires and trillionaires. When he becomes a billionaire, the trillionaires and the quadrillionaires. It is not a problem to have 3 houses. It is only a problem if you have 4. Then he's going to have his 4th house, and it's going to be 5. You know, he moves the goalpost. So I'm not going to go through the Bernie and the Plattner stuff, but I mentioned abolishing ICE. And I want to put a bow on this, round it all off, and show you exactly what we are fighting against. It's one thing to highlight the issues, highlight the quote-unquote detractors on our side. They're not on our side. The doomers, the black pillars, the candy cultists, the podcast-to-stand crew, all of that. These people who hate Jews. It's their whole identity is hating Jews. I kid you not, the Donna post I made yesterday, I had somebody, yeah, you're a shill for Israel. It has nothing to do with Israel. You're a shill for Israel. I said, you're a national embarrassment. Your parents are probably siblings. And they don't. And then I put in parentheses and said, I'm implying that you're a product of incest. So just so you know. And as Dan loves to say, your parents don't admit they have any living children. They're ashamed of. These people will bring it up no matter what it is. They're the real Israel first. Is the first thing they ever bring up. Like, look at Massey, by the way, in Kentucky. Oh, the Jews rigged the election. No, they didn't. You campaigned about a foreign country instead of campaigning about the issues that matter to your district, dummy. Wait, was he stupid? You think the people in Kentucky's 4th congressional district care about Netanyahu? They care about what you're going to do for them. Talk about them. Don't talk about another country. Anyway, I don't want to get down that road. I want to play this cut from the DSA chair. She was on, I think this was Shannon Bream, on Fox News. Folks, they're open about it. Last time I did a fill-in, I remember Justin kept playing this cut.
I mean, our goal is liberation. Our goal is communism.
Our goal is that they're open about it. They're not hiding it anymore. Listen to the Democrat Socialists of America party platform. And before anyone tells me, well, that's not representative of all Democrats. Yes, it is. There is no such thing as a moderate Democrat anymore. I don't want to hear from one of you guys and gals in Michigan or Wisconsin or, North Carolina or Georgia. Oh, no. The guy I'm voting for is a moderate. Moderate Democrats are hostages. Okay? They are passengers. They are not drivers of the party. They are hostages. They are along for the ride. They're just hoping they don't get taken out next. Look at what they did to Dan Goldman. Dan Goldman was one of the leading drivers of the Trump impeachment hoaxes. They got him out. They primaried him out because he's Jewish and supports Israel. Or, I don't know, wasn't anti-Israel enough? You've got lunatics like Daria Lisa Avila Chevalier who says the United States deserved 9/11. And there are no mainstream Democrats calling this out. They are hostages. Some of them have Stockholm syndrome. That's the same thing, when you love your captor. By the way, that describes these fans of Podcastistan. No, like perfect. We think for ourselves. Really? It seems like you think however Candace and Tucker Carlson tell you how to think. You don't think for yourself. You wait for marching orders from your queen bee. You don't realize this, but you're a slave and you love your captor. What have they done for you? What have they done for you? Nothing. What have these socialists done for you? Where's the results from Mamdani's New York City? They're not there. We deliver results. No, you don't. I want to run this cut, because I've only teased it for the last hour, of the Democrat Socialists of America chair on Fox News, laying out the party platform for all of you to see. This is cut and dry. This is no longer us having to decode, lines of text on Black Lives Matter website. Well, this could be parallel to Marx. This is open, honest, definitive, exactly what they stand for. Let's play it.
We're going to put up on the screen a few of the things that are part of your platform. And I want to ask you, just give me sort of a true or false on these. Abolish the Senate.
True.
Okay. Replace the presidency and Supreme Court as we now know them.
Yep.
Abolish ICE.
Absolutely.
Abolish borders and give amnesty to anyone currently in the U.S. illegally.
As a long-term plan, yep.
Defund the Pentagon.
Absolutely.
Abolish prisons, at least in large part.
Yeah, again, that, as part of a long-term program, yeah.
Okay, so no prisons. Government or public ownership of most large corporations.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. Abolish prisons. Yeah. What do you do with the criminals? Abolish borders. Yeah, definitely. Yeah. Defund the Pentagon. Yeah, we're definitely doing that. It's not like, China, Russia, North Korea. They're pointing nukes at us, but let's abolish the Pentagon, the group that's going to defend our homeland. Yeah, abolish the presidency. Oh, okay. I guess then AOC is not going to run for president since we're abolishing the presidency. Guys. All right. And did you see that she filled up the screen, that woman? That was oh. She's got Han Solo on her wall at home. Solo. Do you see what we're up against? Do you see how unapologetic she was? Like, government control of major corporations. Yeah, absolutely.
I mean, our goal is liberation. Our goal is communism.
And you think there's moderates in the Democrat Party left? What do you think, James Carville's going to save you? The Raging Cajun? I don't want that. He's so out of their minds. What, you think they're going to save you? That's who's in charge. That is who is in charge. Where is the DNC chair, Ken Martin, saying, that's not what we stand for? He's MIA. Why? Why is he MIA? Because if he says that, they'll come for him next. Frankenstein, some people call him Frankenstein, is out of the lab, guys. Power's out in Jurassic Park. The T-Rex is running wild, and there is no putting that genie back in the bottle. Those are the people who are in charge of the Democrat Party. Don't tell me about moderates. Don't tell me, well, I'm not voting for that type of Democrat. No matter who you vote for, if there is a D next to that person's name, you are giving Jabba, who was just on your screen, you're giving her more power. You're giving the Democratic Socialists of America more power. Okay? Period. End of story. Every seat that is held by a Democrat is weight behind the snowball of communism rolling down that mountain, heading right for your country. And it's getting bigger and bigger and bigger every time a Democrat gets elected. And in these midterms coming up, it's no different. Now, I want to end with some fun. You know why? Because
that's the Michigan way.
I love me some Haley Stevens. She is my favorite person. And I'm not going to vote for Haley Stevens. First of all, I don't live in Michigan. But she is just a bundle of silliness. All right? Okay? We're going to do a little bit of joy, a little bit of enthusiasm, a little bit of energy, a little bit of stick to them. Because that's the Michigan way. That's the Michigan way. I mean, of all the, think of it, the iconic speeches in history of the United States, right? Four score and 7 years ago. I said to Abe, don't go to that play, Abe. You don't want to do that. What would have happened if I was president? 4 and 7 years ago, Gettysburg Address. We did a tremendous job. You have John F. Kennedy. We choose to go to the moon, right? It's not what you can do for it's not what your country can do for you. It's what you can do for your country, right? You know, Martin Luther King, I had a dream, right? It was a great speech. Neil Armstrong, got along very well with Neil. One small step for man, one huge leap for mankind. I said, Neil, you're supposed to say huge. He said, I'm going to say giant. Would have been better if you said huge. Herb Brooks, miracle. Great moments are born from great opportunities, right? And then you get Haley Stevens, and she trumps them all. We'll do a little bit of joy, wait. Hold on. Let me use my Haley Stevens button. We're going
to do a little bit of joy, a little bit of enthusiasm, a little bit of energy, and a little bit of stick it to them, because that's the Michigan way.
It's normally my Karen button, but it's now my Haley Stevens button. She doesn't like when we make fun of how she talks. Well, that is too damn bad because you talk funny. Okay? So just to laugh our way out of today's show, let's roll the latest from Haley Stevens, who I am now convinced is at least 30% chipmunk. Roll it.
Okay, some of you have seen, there's those cool kids on the internet. They're doing the cool kid chatter. Some of them might be the coastal elites making fun of how I talk. Not okay.
Not okay.
Says my governor. But let's be real. They're making fun of Michigan.
No, we're not making fun of Michigan.
They're thinking they're better than us. And what they don't know is I am your voice. And their jokes and their criticism only makes me fight harder. Christmas, Christmas time is near. Time for joy and time for tears. Right?
Alvin and the Chipmunks.
Oh my gosh.
That's her. You're telling me she starts up, okay. You're making fun of Michigan. No, I'm making fun of Haley Stevens. Why am I making fun of Haley Stevens?
That's the Michigan way.
That's why I'm making fun. Because you're ridiculous. We represent the Lollipop Guild. All right. On a real note, you saw who was standing to the left of her? That was Jim Clyburn. She's got Clyburn's endorsement. She's got Gretchen Whitmer's endorsement. August 4th is going to be a fascinating primary because you do have the split in the Democrat Party in Michigan. You've got the old guard, the establishment guard, still far left. Jim Clyburn, who, goes by Kingmaker, by the way. I don't know if you know. He goes by Kingmaker. He was the reason why Biden won their nomination in 2020. It was Clyburn's endorsement ahead of Super Tuesday that basically forced the rest of the Democrats to drop out and coalesce behind Joe Biden to steal the nomination from Bernie Sanders. We'll see how much power he still has. Whitmer, she's not a force in the Democrat Party. But Clyburn is. So you got Clyburn, Whitmer, establishment, old guard, still far left over there on the Democrat side for Haley Stevens. And then you got Pocahontas, Chief Spitting Bull, right? Nasty person. Bernie Sanders, oligarchy, and the Democratic Socialists of America type, Hassan Piker, etc., behind Abdul al-Said. We will see. It's a week from tomorrow. We will see how that primary shakes out. It's going to be very interesting to see. And it'll prove. I think al-Said's going to win. Our buddy Chase Bowes, who's one of the best data analysts in the game, he thinks al-Said's going to win too. So I don't doubt Chase. We'll see. All right, that's going to do it for today. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much, Bongino Army, guys and gals. I appreciate you so much for being here. We're going to head out and be back here tomorrow morning, same time, same place, 10 a.m. Eastern time. If you can, please remember, Go to rumble.com/Shawn. Follow that page. Bongino.com/Shawn. That's where all the information for my new show, Shawn Farash Live, is going to be. Please subscribe to the audio podcast. So this is going to be on there, from what I understand. This show is going to be on there. This will be the first one. So please subscribe to the audio podcast anywhere you get your podcast, Apple Podcasts, Spotify. If you use one of those third-party apps, just search Shawn Farash Live. I also have the links. All those links are posted in the pinned post on my X feed, Bongino.com/Shawn. You can get all that information as well. Have a great rest of your Monday. We will see you back here tomorrow morning at 10 a.m. Eastern Time. As President Trump says, we will never give in. We will never give up. And we will never, ever surrender. Thank you. God bless you. God bless America. And thank you for your attention to this matter. We'll see you tomorrow.
Hey there, I'm Vince.
I'm Haley Caradia,
Host of Vince.
host of Scrolling with Haley.
You can always catch my show right here
on the Bongino Report.
live, 8 a.m. Eastern, weekday mornings.
Weekdays at noon. If you miss it, no worries. The show will always be
Right here
and
and
anywhere you find podcasts. Thanks for watching.